Well, me being a fifth generation native Atlantan, what inspired Atlanta Southwest was one day Dominique and I met at Marvin Arrington's constituent services meeting that he had, and Marvin Arrington broke us off into groups, and so happened Dominique's last name is Huff, my last name is Hartnett, and he put us in both groups together. And from there, Dominique and I started talking. We started talking about different things we want to do in the community. Dominique's having the community activism. I am as well. And we started talking about our area, which is Greenbrier, which is Southwest Atlanta. We thought about what we should do to make our community better. And in 2016, we came up with Atlanta Southwest. And with Atlanta Southwest, we picked Greenbrier Mall as where we would start trying to make things better, because we looked at Greenbrier Mall as downtown Southwest Atlanta because it had the most parcels. It was the biggest part of the Southwest Atlanta, and it's the only part that had a mall in it. And from there, we created Southwest Atlanta. There, we broke off to Taste of Southwest Atlanta, which we've given, we'll have our second annual Taste of Southwest Atlanta this October. And well, Taste of Southwest Atlanta came about is we thought about something we could do for the community that would bring the community together. And I told Dominique, I remember when I was little, how we used to have festivals and concerts at Greenbrier Mall. And I said, if we could bring that back to my community, I would greatly appreciate it, greatly love that.
A lot of it started back with white flight, going back to the 70s. When Greenbrier Mall was built, it was a white community, just like all of that part of South Fulton County. So as we saw white flight happen, we also began to see some benign neglect on the behalf of the city of Atlanta. So a lot of infrastructure, a lot of community development just was not happening. So the first problem was in 1985, JCPenney left the mall.
Right.
That began the domino effect. It caught the attention of then Mayor Andrew Young, who was the mayor. Then after that, we started seeing the slowly influx of business. But I must say, to kind of rewind the tape just a little bit, in 1980, another now defunct mall, Shannon Mall, opened in Union City. It was a bigger mall. You know how it is with malls. Bigger, better, pulls people away. Shannon Mall had 4 anchors, at the time had 3 anchor stores, over 100 different stores. Greenbrier still had the 2 anchors. Circuit City was not even built yet till 1990.
Right.
So as people went to Shannon Mall, South Lake Mall still had it going on. A lot of people started slowly going to the suburbia. As we see people go to the suburbias, we saw the beginning of us losing our car dealerships. At one time, we had a Ford dealership, a Mitsubishi dealership, a Toyota dealership, and a Buick dealership, all around Greenbrier Mall. 3 were on Cameron Road, 1 was on Headland Drive. So we started seeing a lot of people pull out between 1985 to the early 1990s, and the overall income of that area went downhill too.
Where Tyler Perry's studio is, the first one that's next to Greenbrier Mall, that used to be Delta's airline headquarters. So you think a lot of people that used to work at Delta Airlines came over to the mall for lunch, worked and shopped in the area as well. Even if they didn't live in the area, they still spent money and time in the area. So that kept the area up. And it also brought a lot of money as well. I mean, when you have Delta, which is a real large employer in Georgia, and then you talk about that's their headquarters, you think of all the money that's around the mall Monday through Friday, and even on the weekends. Because I mean, the airlines run 7 days a week. And from there, we had restaurants, Red Lobster, Piccadilly, which is still in Greenbrier Mall now. We had Ponderosa, McDonald's. We had several other restaurants, Crystals on Campbellton Road as well, and all those things have gone now because of the economic. Yeah, Bonanza was here, Ponderosa. I mean, we had a lot of different things. We had a lot of different varieties to eat on Campbellton Road back then. When the drug scene came on in the mid to late 80s, when crack really started, that really hurt a lot of families. So then you had a lot of families that became broken. Where we were growing up, we had a lot of 2-parent households. Then you started having a lot of single mother households, a lot of separated households, no families together and things like that. The demise of the family is what started the demise of the community.
And then you had suburbanization. A lot of people who left, a lot of the well-to-do people moved further in the unincorporated South Fulton, which is now the city of South Fulton. They moved to Clayton County, they moved to Henry County, they was moving to Douglas County. At that time, it was all about going to the suburbs. So a lot of the people who could have left did leave, along with the remainder of the white flight. So as we're recovering from that, along with schools that are starting to fail, such as Thero High School, at the time Sylvan Hills High School existed.
Right.
Then we also had Bays High School, which was holding strong at the time. So you started seeing two schools merged together, Sylvan Hills and Thero, where Sylvan Hills became the middle school that fit into Thero High School. And then from there, you started to see a lot of the lower income people move in. And we're not, and for the record, we're not blaming problems on lower income people. That's we wanted to be clear about that. But when you're having a lot of problems with crime, drugs, and social issues, it becomes a haven for lower income residents because the rent is cheaper over there. People decide to rent the house out, turn it to a rooming house, turn it to a boarding house. People don't want to lose their property, so it ended up becoming a highly rented neighborhood instead of owner occupiers. And a lot of the owners became slumlords. And just say with other parts of Atlanta, you had a lot of elderly people who left the houses to the younger people. The younger people lived in the suburbs.
And they didn't want the house anymore. They let the house go.
They
Right.
let the house go. The
Happened
house
a
falling
lot.
probate
Right.
issues because people didn't have their stuff together. So a lot of the houses became boarded up and abandoned. So
Right.
that adds to another problem that you have with boarded up
Blight.
vacant property, with the blight issue that people
Right.
are upset about. Then we also had the issue with commercial property where, passed down, businesses fail, half the time they don't know who owns the property. So that becomes another stain in our community. And we're forgetting the biggest thing that's also hit us too, the closure of Fort McPherson.
That really hurt
Fort
us.
McPherson hurt us as well,
Right.
along with a lot of projects that never even manifested in our community. At one time, we had the issue of Greenbrier Mall Phase 2. Greenbrier Mall Phase 2 was supposed to be on that undeveloped property where Baton Johnson
Right.
had.
Exactly. It never
We
happened.
had we were supposed to have more stores, more restaurants, and all that. But of course, with any major development project, you got to get buy-in.
Well-
Nobody brought it to it.